leaders in the world who are made for impact.
Community is a superpower for women. It allows us to be more energetic, more focused, and to create greater impact. I wish that all business owners, bosses, people in leadership understood how much they can support their team members by providing opportunities for authentic relationship building and connection as an element that's going to enhance their productivity and their performance.
I'm Gretchen Schott, and this is Made for Impact, a show for leaders who want to leave a lasting impact on their organizations, their teams, and their lives. Let me ask you, do you have moms working in your organization today? Do you know a woman that is thinking about re-entering the workforce, but maybe is a little bit nervous to do so? You are going to love my guests today. On the show, I have two wonderful women joining me, Amri Kibbler and Erika Hanafin. They are the co-founders of Hello Mamas and the CEO and founder of HeyMama, a membership-based organization that accelerates mothers' success in business. Their organization has a number of resources and programs that not only support working moms, but also support women who do work out of their home, providing support and assistance through all stages of motherhood, from birth to empty nest. They share their story and provide some insights on how you can support moms in your organization. Take a listen. Well, good morning. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here on the show. I'm so grateful to have both of you on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gretchen. We're thrilled to be here with you.
Do me a quick favor and let's do just kind of a quick intro. So people who are listening to the show, it would be great, I think, if you shared with our listeners a little bit about your company and how the two of you actually got into business together.
So I'm Amri Kibbler. I'm the co-founder of Hello Mamas and HeyMama. And I started HeyMama, oh my gosh, back in 2014. This is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Wow. And I started HeyMama at a point in my life where I'd had a successful career in media and publishing. And I really wanted to start my own business. I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I really wanted to have that flexibility as I had become a parent, and my priorities and what was important to me and what my version of success was had really shifted to be one that needed to have a space to show up for my kids and my family when I really needed to do that. And I, not like a lot of moms out there, was lucky enough to have made an amazing network. I had wonderful connections from my career. I was lucky enough to be able to ask Eva Chen to have coffee with me and talk about what my next steps were going to be. And, many other people that took time to mentor me and advise me in that period. So as I was going through that, I thought, what can I do and how can I create a space where we can bring this kind of access to information, resources, and a network to more moms out there? And that was really the space where, HeyMama came from. It was navigating this journey, wanting to be able to also have deeper relationships. I'd had a very busy career where I could see other moms and women that I wanted to develop stronger relationships with, but I just didn't have time at that point. And it was tricky and hard. You were either in a meeting, or if I saw them outside on a play date, then where was the time to be able to connect? And I wanted to create a space to make that super easy and simple. And there would be a warm and welcoming space for moms to be able to network and build their professional networks, as well as being able to, support their personal relationships. And I think that there's such a great connection between those two and overall happiness and wellness for moms too.
I love it.
And I am a mom. I have a blended family. So I have an 11-year-old boy and two bonus babies that are 10 and 7. I am a startup guru. I have spent over 2 decades in startups, both in New York City and in Silicon Valley, working for some of the top VCs in the country and really the world. And similarly, I've been very fortunate. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household. My grandparents actually started a business in their garage, and my father ultimately took that to a sale, like a public company. And my grandmother was the CEO in the late 70s. So I guess you would say that entrepreneurship and really being supported by women has always been part of my ethos. And I had had a few successes. I had gone through a few acquisitions that I was pretty incremental in doing. And after my third, I was introduced to Hey Mama. And that was, gosh, now about 4.5 years ago. And I had this, joy of being able, we joke, Amri and I joke that we have had the fastest career at Hey Mama. I was doing some consulting work for Hey Mama, then joined full time a few months later, and then became CEO 3 months later after that. So it's definitely been a joy. So that's how Amri and I first got introduced. And from there, feeling, as Amri mentioned, the ethos and the mission behind Hey Mama and creating a vibrant community that's dedicated to supporting mom success, but really accelerating moms in business. My personal passion lies in raising women up in leadership and collaboration and mentorship. And that has helped create an opportunity for Amri and I to really take Hey Mama and beyond. We're actually working on Hello Mamas, which we'll certainly share more about, which Amri and I have co-founded out of this need and this recognition that there's more we can do to support moms, not only here in the US, but across the globe. So that's the short of who we are and how we got connected.
I love it. This is a topic very dear to my heart. I think that if I were to be asked, like, what's a question that you get asked often, it is from either young women or working women asking me about my career as a working mom. And, what did you do? How have you made it work? I've always had, my kids were like in daycare. I didn't ever have like the conversation of, should I even stay home? We had one, my husband and I, and it was like, do you think I should stay home? And it was like, we can't afford that. Okay. That was the end of that conversation. Right. And so like, I've always worked, and I have 3 kids as well. And so I'm very excited to hear more about your organization. But I wanted to ask you, as I was researching and looking into, your guys' background and your company, one of the questions I had for you was, what does community mean to you? And how do you define community? Because I think that there's a lot of opinions around community, but what attracts me to the work that you guys are doing and in alignment with the work that I do is creating community. And I try and create community through a learning culture and creating, growth and personal development and leadership development. But I'm curious how you guys talk about community and what that means for you.
Oh my gosh. I think that we would both agree for sure that community is, we like to say at Hey Mama, network equals net worth, right? And a community is really your source of strength, and it's a catalyst for all of the things, whether it's transformation, as you said, Gretchen, growth. It's a network that you can thrive in and feel supported and go to that helps you unlock potential. Or in my personal perspective, it's not just about a gathering of people, right? We think it's really around creating an environment where the shared wisdom and the shared collective creates an action and an impact in a bigger way. And really what we're fundamentally doing is creating a community for her, for mom, where she feels supported and can be authentic and, really go through the highs and lows of both motherhood as well as wherever they are in their journey, professionally or personally.
And I would like to add to that because I often have people ask me, they become part of our community and they come to our events and they say, there is something so special about this group that feels so different than any of the other networking, business, entrepreneurial groups that I've been a part of. And I always say that special piece is the mom element. I think an important part of community is that there needs to be a shared unifying value and something that you're passionate about. When you bring together a group of women who share this element of motherhood, they understand this core component of what the others are going through, where they may be in different industries or fields, but they're like, okay, wow, I know that she must have gone through many layers to get to this event this morning. There's this real element of empathy and warmness that comes through in all of the conversations. And you know how time is so scarce for moms. So you're going to show up, you're going to be there. And as soon as you see another mom or another woman in the community going through something, you really want to be able to provide your advice or feedback to help and support them, because nothing really makes you feel better than being able to help another mom, to being able to share something that you've gone through. Say, you've had a real struggle in your life, feeling like, okay, this is worth a lot because I'm able to provide this help and support to someone else that they don't have to to deal with what I've gone through. Is a special element in there, and something that I think that makes community really important.
So I have a lot of men that listen to the show, a lot of men leaders. And one of the questions I have for you is, for those men that are listening and they hear about this kind of community, what is something that you wish more executive leaders or people that manage other people, specifically moms, knew or understood about what you're talking about with community? What is a conversation maybe that isn't happening today that you wish that was happening today with men who are working with women that needs to maybe be discussed?
I wish that they understood how much community actually is going to improve the quality of their workers' lives and allow them to show up in a space where they have more headspace, they have more passion, they have more energy. I see women coming to an event and I can see all of the things going through their minds, scattered thoughts, things happening. And as soon as they get into that room with other women who are doing incredible things, they become energized, they become passionate, they are ready to get in there and they're ready to get to work and make a difference. Community is a superpower for women. It allows us to be more energetic, more focused, and to create greater impact. I wish that all business owners, bosses, people in leadership understood how much they can support their team members by providing opportunities for authentic relationship building and connection as an element that's going to enhance their productivity and their performance.
Yeah, I would also add, we often get asked, well, how come there's not a hey daddy, right? Or a hey, or hey dad, whatever. And, we always say that's because you're doing it all the time. Fundamentally what we're addressing is this confidence. It's a lack of confidence, particularly in women, and even more so when you become a mom, that you're not doing it enough. You have all of these other roles that you have to fulfill, whether it's, going to a 9-to-5 job and then going home and, to your other 9-to-5 job, the invisible labor, the workforce. The very first thing that women, in particular moms, forego is they don't make time for themselves, and that equates to not making time to network. And so men are fundamentally doing that on the golf course. They're having guys' night. They're going and planning their football leagues, et cetera, right? When we have a community that fully supports moms and supports women, and we've created a safe environment for women to show up for themselves, to come and provide networking opportunities, access to resources, capital, growth, all of the things, then we see that confidence starts being boosted and they feel supported in their roles. We have a big program called our Motherhood on the Resume campaign, which is really around showing and demonstrating that becoming a mother is really a training ground for leadership. And in 2023, last year, McKinsey came out with a study that said organizations that actively support working mothers see a 35% increase in profitability. I mean, let's think about that. 35% increase in profitability when you're a public company and you have 30% year over year returns. Hire a mom. And by the way, let us continue to support mom through the work that we're doing within Hey Mama and provide these resources and provide really the education that helps boost the confidence for more women in their professional and also personal lives to feel comfortable to network, to feel comfortable to know that they can multitask and negotiate and all of the things in a bigger way. And yes, it's slightly different between man and, the gender disparity, but, really fundamentally overall, it's how can we improve businesses as we're discussing Hey Mama and create better outcomes that really do equate to improving the bottom line.
Yeah. Amri, I want to go back to something you said in the beginning. I wanted to ask you, when did you know your success measure for yourself shifted? Because you talked about, you had kids and then it shifted, but when did you know?
I think it was a slow development. When I became pregnant with my first, I imagined that I would just jump back into everything and keep the ball rolling. And it's a complete mental shift when you fall in love with this little person and they become your highest priority, right? Making sure that my daughter was loved and cared and supported and all of those things became everything, absolutely everything to me. But that didn't mean that I wasn't still passionate about my career and that I wasn't going to show up. It actually meant that I was going to show up and get everything I needed to do done so that I can spend time with her. In my personal situation, in my career, I was working at Cosmopolitan magazine, and a lot of my career is centered around late night dinners and entertaining, travel, and some things like that, which are what really led me to want to have a career shift. And so I wanted to, create a dynamic where I could work around my own schedule, whether that meant I was answering emails late at night or, doing work on the weekend so that I could have that time available to spend with my daughter. I wanted to be able to show up to her recitals and take her to the doctor and do all of those things that every mom really wants to be able to do. And creating that space for moms is actually going to help them to be more productive and better employees. We find that when leaders in their own company are open and honest about their own personal dynamic, if they're putting into their calendar that they're taking their daughter or son to a doctor's appointment or going to a baseball game, but they're creating a work environment that helps parents, and not only just moms, but dads too, to thrive and be honest about the fact every human being has a mom, and those moms had to prioritize their kids' health and wellness and happiness to be able to, do everything for them, right? And that does take time. We just need to be honest about that and honest about the importance of our roles as parents in creating the next generation of successful adults. It's an important part of what we do. But that's not to say that we can't also be successful and thriving leaders, employees, coworkers, and all of those other things. And having that space of honesty in a work environment is one of the key components to be able to allowing your employees to thrive.
I love that statement. And I think that it's actually a good tip. I think that managers and people who lead other people that are listening to this, talking with employees around how is your success measure shifted? Even just my own experience, I think when we got on, I said, where were you guys when I was starting out in my career? Because there was none of this stuff available, right? And that idea of like today, I am so confident around stating this isn't going to be in alignment with the kind of mom that I want to be. And I am very passionate and very successful and very driven in my job. I was not that woman 20 years ago. My oldest is 22. And I just thought I needed to keep it all to myself. But I had that mindset of, I'm just going to get things done more quickly because I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to be more efficient. I'm going to take less longer. I'm not maybe going to work through my lunch so I can get this done so I can leave when I want to leave to go be at home. Like all those things that I kind of juggled in my mind, but I didn't realize that I was even doing that because I was just adapting. I was just trying to be my very best self and demonstrate. I was so grateful for the work that I was getting to do and so grateful for my job and grateful for the people that I was working with. But I also didn't feel like I could lean into talking about being a mom or putting it on my calendar that I had to go do this kid's appointment. But fast forward to where I'm at now today, like even this week, I got invited to a meeting on Friday at 4:30. My son, my youngest, is in a production of The Little Mermaid and he's Prince Eric. And so of course I'm volunteering at the school because I'm very excited and I got to be there at like 5:15. And so my note back was like, I can make that work, but I have a hard stop at 5 because I'm going to go volunteer at school. And the beauty of my coworker wrote back and said, well, would it be better if we moved it to 4? Would that be easier for you? Right? Like, again, even just building that confidence, I didn't even think to say like, hey, can we move this up? Because I got to do this other thing versus like, here's my hard boundary. I got to be done at this time because I got somewhere else to go. So anyway, feel like I just went down a rabbit hole, but I love what you're saying about what's your success measure and how is that shifting? I think that's a good question to ask. And I think it's one that leaders can also kind of jump on and start dialogue with their employees.
Definitely. I also just wanted to add, I think that not only just being honest about your personal dynamic in the workspace, if employers and leaders can make it more acceptable to be who you authentically are in your own self within the workplace, they're going to find that their employees are going to be happier, more passionate about the place that they work, and so eager to not only show up for them, but shout it from the rooftops. I had a boss who always opened up every meeting by asking people to go around and share what was happening for them personally right then. And it allowed for this amazing connection between the team members. We might not see each other any other time during the day, but you felt like you had that personal connection. And she was fostering community in her own way within this space. So, all of the different ways that leaders and employers can add community into their daily repertoire is going to be really helpful for them and allow their employees to be more successful.
I love that. Erika, I'd love for you to share, if you would. The question I want to ask is, where have you seen your business make an impact? And I don't know if this is also an opportunity for you to talk a little bit about Hello Mama versus Hey Mama. If not, I want to get to that distinction too. But the question I want to ask is, where have you seen your business make an impact? And I'll let you take it from there.
Oh gosh, yes. Really fundamentally, Hey Mama is an impact organization, right? We make an impact through a number of ways. We make an impact through providing resources, through networking opportunities by way of our programming or in-person events that can be strategically placed all across the country and expanded on, and opportunities for members to come in intimate circles. We provide mentorship, education, thought leadership. And my favorite is that with less than 2% of VC funding going to women and even less for minority women, of which moms are part of a minority, our members have raised over $20 million in funding. And that's just the stat that we have, right? So it's really the impact of creating a support system that's a catalyst for the professional growth and empowerment of moms. And over 70% of our members are business owners. And when you look at, minority-owned women businesses, it's continuing to grow. 43% of Black and Latina women at the forefront of the growth. It's over $700 billion in revenue. It's incredibly impactful to be able to create a business that is fundamentally helping mom-owned businesses be an economic force, contribute to, the US economy, contribute to each other by raising each other up. Beyond that, when we're talking about what we're building at Hello Mamas, we love what we're doing with Hey Mama, but there was always this thing of there's got to be something more, right? Like we're really here focused on accelerating moms in business, right? Whether that's being an entrepreneur or working for a corporation. But there's more to that. Moms really need more support, right? We see the invisible labor, that the 2.5 extra hours we're spending in the home, right? There's all of these other components that are impactful. And so Amri and I had this, there's got to be more. There's got to be more. We love the data. We hear the feedback. How can we improve mental health? Because it's proven that when women are together with like-minded women, their joy and their happiness improves. I mean, can we create a ripple effect on that globally? And so that's really where we fortunately have been able to officially launch Hello Mamas. And that was really as part of an acquisition. So Hey Mama was officially acquired in March of this year. And as part of that acquisition was building this parent brand that is more inclusive to moms and supporting moms wherever they are in their journey, particularly throughout their motherhood stages. So feeling that support and connection where you have this authentic environment where you'll be seen and heard as a mom and not feel like it's only that one time, right? Like it's only when I'm working or it's only when I have a toddler or become a new mom. We're there every step of the way throughout your motherhood journey, throughout your milestones. I call those the monumental moments where for me personally, it was a divorce and learning how to co-parent and all of the things. For Amri, it was cancer and navigating family and career with illness. And so we have these opportunities to really, truly drive an impact for more moms across the globe. And our goal is to continue to be able to do that. And with Hello Mamas, it is an app. So it's right there on your phone. You can, always feel connected. And then certainly using our expertise within Hey Mama around bringing in-person connections, be able to do that even locally, right? So the more women that join Hello Mamas, I can grab a cup of coffee with or go on a play date with and feel not only the technology, the digital component, but also feel truly connected in person. And again, those outcomes will continue to improve.
One of the things, I don't know which one of you should jump into this, or maybe you both want to, but something that I've been very proud of in my career and people that have worked for me is I've had a couple people who've come to work for me that were stay-at-home moms, and coming to work for me was their first, real job, they would say, after being a stay-at-home mom. And I'm very passionate about encouraging and bringing women into the workforce that maybe have like these doubts or lack confidence or struggle to describe like the work that I've been doing for years and years and years, working at home, putting together fundraisers for the school or whatever, actually is valuable in your business world. So talk a little bit about resources that you have or how you help women that have maybe been that stay-at-home mom and get back into the workforce if they so desire it. I'd love to hear more of what you guys offer with regards to that.
We actually pre-pandemic had a campaign initiative that we had started to really cultivate, which was our Motherhood on the Resume initiative. And then pandemic hit and women, particularly moms, were leaving the workforce in droves, right? We have all of the studies. And then, kids are back in school or they're at that later stage in life where their kids are, full-time in school. And so they have more opportunities where they want to feel like they're contributing to their household and contributing to society, right? And so this campaign is really around cultivating leaders and using your transferable skills as becoming a mother, which is an innate skill, right? You become a mom and you are constantly you're innately multitasking, you're project planning, project management. when your baby becomes a toddler, you're negotiating endlessly, but particularly before bedtime, right? And so these are really big skills. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, yeah, it's literally like a hostage negotiation before bedtime, right? But these are skills that women, particularly moms, can bring to the workforce. And the other side of that is that confidence in the gap, right? If you've taken time off to become a parent, whether a mom or a dad, taking that time off is important, but in that time, you're still evolving. You're still creating professional opportunities that lend very well to the workforce. So that's one of our biggest initiatives. I'm sure there's a lot. We have so much on this.
So much. But I also just wanted to mention, and this is something that I learned even before starting Hey Mama, back when I worked at Cosmopolitan. And Helen Gurley Brown was one of the founders of Cosmopolitan. And then later, Kate White, who was our editor-in-chief, they really talked so much about the importance of having something for yourself. So even if you're going through a career pause or a career gap, keeping your network going. And there have been many women who have stayed a part of the Hey Mama community and fostered that relationship building and networking as you're going through your career pause. It's even more important, right? And looking at the things that you're doing that maybe aren't what you would stereotypically call, a quote unquote job, but maybe you're volunteering for the PTA or you're the treasurer for the Girl Scouts. All of these things that you can cultivate relationships, get references, get testimonials, and that you can actually put that on your resume. Anything that you can drive to numeric qualifiers is also super helpful. If you can talk about the impact that you've made in any of your volunteering roles or other things that you're doing, maybe you were able to trim the budget by 30%. All of those things are going to be things that you can easily translate into the conversations that you're having with employers. So many things like that are important pieces that we're teaching through Motherhood on the Resume. It's an ongoing event series that we have. We have a toolkit where we provide resources that are accessible for any mom. We've partnered with Mullen-Lowe on a mom-turnship program for the past several years where they're actually bringing moms in to intern at Mullen-Lowe across their different locations and providing them with training. And Erika and I have done mentoring sessions for them to be able to help them with not only with their confidence, which is a huge piece, but with real, tangible skills that they're going to need to get back into the workforce. So there's, so many different things. We have lots of resources and on-demand, videos and things that you can also watch within the Hey Mama community. We've had many mentoring programs. We do something called Mama Mentors, or we set up group mentoring within the community as well.
Yeah, and I would add to that too. Initially, it was a lot of education for those returning to the workforce, right? And as Amri mentioned, through the mentorship program, we realized that it's kind of inversed a little bit. It's really, how do we work with companies to create better workforces and opportunities for women, and in particular moms? And so that's also part of our toolkit is, not just the mom specific focus, but also helping companies recognize, is it flexible work hours? Is it opportunities? Maybe it's changing the way that you say part-time or full-time, opportunities to be part of programs that support babysitting or, childcare components, mental health components, all of those things that create a stronger workforce, particularly for moms, are resources that we've created. So how can you support working moms, how to prepare to enter the workforce, and certainly the professional skills as well.
I love it. Ladies, this has been so exciting to hear about the business and what you guys are doing. If people are listening and they have someone now that's top of mind that they want to recommend, reach out to you, or maybe they're listening to the show for the first time and they're like, how do I get in touch with these women? what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Get in touch with us. We love to be connected to other women and even, men who can create a better environment for moms in particular. You can definitely find us at heymama.co or hellomamas.co. Hello Mamas is in the App Store and Android, whatever device you have, you can download that, and any Hey Mama member you'll also see Hello Mamas and Hey Mama combined if you're a Hey Mama member in the app. So we've made it really easy. Or you can follow us on Instagram, which is at Hello Mamas app or at Hey Mama in Biz.
Or you can also follow us on LinkedIn at heymama.co. Hey Mama Co.
Thanks, ladies, so much for being here. I have really, really appreciated the conversation so much. And I know that you're going to have a boost in membership after people listening to this show. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Gretchen.
I love the work Amri and Erika are doing. It is so exciting. I hope you enjoyed that episode and that you share it with women that you know too. I'd encourage you to check out their website, download their app, and learn more about this amazing community that's making an impact on business and on the lives of women. Are you receiving my monthly newsletter? If not, be sure you sign up to get updates from me on personal growth and development and ways in which you can become your best self. Because I want you to remember that you are made for impact.